As soon as you have finished your buttonhole row, that is when you're pretty much going to start your neckline decreases. I mean, follow the dimensions on the Drop Studio, but for me the buttonhole happened at 18 centimeters, and then when I finished the buttonhole and turned it over again now to start the next row, I am now at the 19 centimeter mark, which is when I'm supposed to start, for my size, to start the neckline decrease. So I really have a feeling that in 99% of the cases, as soon as you've finished your buttonhole and you've done the purl side of your buttonhole, that's when you're going to start the neckline decreases. So goody goody, that's what we have to do while still remembering to do our armhole decreases. So now if you look on my errata sheet under the right front piece in the armhole decrease section, it does say after the last buttonhole you're to start your neckline decrease. So when it reaches those dimensions, 17, 19, 21, or 23 centimeters, do your neckline decrease on the right side of the garment or in the even rows. So first you start by doing your 5 seed stitches, which is knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. Slip the marker over. Yahoo! This is now where the neckline decrease happens. It happens just on the inside of your buttonhole band. We don't want to start decreasing the band away. You need that band to look nice and consistent. So you start it just on the other side of the stitch marker, which is why we also use a stitch marker. Just keeps things defined and you don't lose where you are. So this is now where you start the decrease, and you do this on every even row. So we did the 5 seed stitches, then we're going to slip one, done. And now we are going to knit one, and we're going to pass that slip stitch over. So you've decreased, you made 2 into 1, and then you just knit to the end. And when you have finished knitting to the end, somehow you have to remember that you've done this once. You can either start with another row counter just to count how many times, or in this case I'm going to go 1. I finished one. I'm going to start collecting these. And you have to do it as many times as stated in the pattern. So it's 11, 12, 12, or 13 times. Because I'm making that second size, it's 12. So I'll stop doing that decrease when I've done it 12 times, when I have 12 of these guys collected in my little bowl. So I'll just put that off to a side, and I will continue to knit the rest of this row, which happens to be row 6 for me. I have finished row 6. I'm going to start row 7. I have done one decrease on my neckband, and now I'm on row 7 of my armhole decrease, and row 7 says to bind off a stitch, purl across, knit 5 seed stitches. So I will do that again. So I will bind off a stitch by just slipping one, purling, and then passing that slip stitch over. So there's the bind off, and then I just continue purling to the end. What you'll notice at the end of this row 7, it says end of armhole bind off for size 1 to 3 months. So if you're making that small size, this is actually the last time you have to do the armhole bind off. Yay! And you're finished the armhole bind off. If you're like me and you're making the next size bigger, we have to do the armhole bind off again. But if you're doing the smallest size, that's the last time you have to do an armhole bind off. So then all you are going to do on all your wrong side rows is just do the pattern, normally purling with the seed stitches at the end. But if you're like me, we're going to have to make sure we remember to keep doing the armhole bind off until it tells us to stop.